Dr. Kaplan, and I want to talk about something very deep and personal. It's about how vision therapy saved my life. You might ask, what is vision therapy? I'm going to explain that in just a while, but I want to talk about what happened when I was 16 years of age. I would be sitting in the classroom trying to read, trying to understand what I was reading, and my mind would wander, the words would swim around, and there was total confusion. Everybody told me that I was smart, but I couldn't comprehend what I was reading. And I remember my parents taking me to an optometrist when I was 16. And he tested my eyes and said, everything is fine, you've got good eyesight. But you're a bit like your father, the eyes are not working together, they tend to diverge. And there's nothing you can do about it really, but wear these glasses. So he gave me these reading glasses which I wore for a while, and I just became more and more frustrated. But when I was 19 and I was in optometry school, learning how to be an eye doctor, I remember sitting in the classroom one day, and all of a sudden there were two professors. It was like the world just separated, and I became aware for the first time that I actually had double vision. And when the diagnoses were made, they indicated that I had double vision over 50% of the time. And that began a very interesting journey of learning what is called vision therapy. Now, in the beginning, this consisted mostly of like physical exercises, like learning how to cross the eyes. I know they told you never to do that, your eyes will get stuck, but crossing the eyes on a physical level was a very, very valuable experience, because I learned how to center myself in. And apparently there's a part in the brain where this centering becomes very important. And once I learned to physically look correctly, I then continued the therapeutic process to learn higher and higher levels of integration. As I mastered these practices of turning my eyes inward and learning to stay centered, I noticed that my concentration was helped tremendously. I could read and study for much longer periods, and my memory increased tremendously. Much later, I also began to notice how my behavior was beginning to change as a result of the vision therapy practices. How, would you say, did my behavior change? I accepted myself more by understanding that there was a reason behind the way I saw and the way I behaved as a result of my seeing. At the age of 25, I enrolled for postgraduate training at the University of Houston, and during an in-depth diagnostic examination of my vision, I was prescribed prism glasses as well as lenses, cylindrical lenses for astigmatism. I wore these glasses for about a year and a half, believing that this was the correct next step to take. Indeed, my double vision was now reduced almost to zero when I wore the prism glasses. But on the other hand, when I took the glasses off, the percentage of double vision went up higher than it was at the beginning. And this made me wonder, why is it that in my naked vision is my double vision worse? At about the same time, I began a series of clinical experiments at the University of Houston College of Optometry. And what I was investigating was what happens under stress when someone looks through both eyes. Can I measure a reduction in looking through both eyes under different levels of stress? Well, the truth was this happened. When I became stressed in my world, in my environment, I had less ability to look through both eyes at the same time. And this was very, very significant piece of the puzzle that I'd been looking for in explaining the background of my double vision. As I deepened this connection, this life connection between my eyes and my behavior, I began to realize that when I integrate my two eyes better together at the level of the brain, what I'm actually doing is fusing the two realities of my world. And in doing so, part of that fusion process might contain elements of illusion and misperceiving. And that helped me go even deeper into the background reasons for my double vision. During the training process using the vision therapy techniques, I was introduced to a wonderful vision therapy optometrist by the name of Robert Pepper, and I spent many sessions in his office jumping on a trampoline, and later I would practice at home on a small trampoline, jumping up and down, listening to music at the same time, and crossing my eyes and deliberately creating double vision in the distance. And I would practice this for 5 to 10 minute periods, and as I did this, it seemed like within the background of my brain and my mind, I was entering into greater depths of myself, perceiving myself more deeply, but also noticing the parts of my not self where I was heavily conditioned. And this vision therapy process taught me how to be staying present with the what is, with the what's happening right now in the moment, and not to be caught up in the background, the history of my past, the conditioning from my parents, schooling and culture, and society for that matter. As far as I'm concerned, vision therapy is one of the greatest assets that we have available to every human being on this planet for assisting in the treatment of eye and vision problems that are related to learning and actually just living. The fact that I'm now seeing double less than 2% of the time of my waking hours is not really what saved my life. Vision therapy gave me a deep insight into looking within myself and recognizing that the way I look through my eyes is under my control, and that affects every decision that I make and every way I perform. And that's why vision therapy saved my life. This video I'd like to dedicate to all the many teachers of vision therapy that I had over the years, beginning with the great functional optometrist Skeffington, Robert Kraskin, Don Getz, Elliot Forrest, Ray Gottlieb, Jakob Lieberman, Abe Kirschner, and all the others who helped me on my journey towards saving my life.